What's up, guys? I wanted to drop a video for you guys on pretty much learning basics of how to trade Forex. So this video will be basically teaching those who are completely new to the industry and just not really fully sure what Forex is or have heard about it and are kind of interested on just some of the ins and outs of really just how it works. So I'll be trying to explain as much as I can in pretty much a short video for you guys today on some of the basic things you want to kind of be aware of when coming into the industry of trading. So when you're analyzing, and some of the things that you'll learn as far as when trading Forex, you'll be able to use these same knowledge and tools across all different types of markets. So whether it's just the stock market, the crypto market, bonds, different things like that, you'll be able to use this education throughout different markets. So that is a plus for you guys. Without holding up too much time, I did want to kind of give an intro of who we are, which we are FXK Trading Co. Our website is FXKTrading.com. If you guys are interested in actually learning and getting any type of mentoring services to educating yourself about the industry, then you guys can feel free to head on over to our website, and we do have different services for you guys. On the service tab, you'll be able to see that we offer different types of packages as far as monthly signals. We do have our Forecaster Pro trading software. We do have our mentoring lifetime package here, which comes with the online school, as well as our mentoring one-on-one boot camp, which is a 1-month class. So we have different courses here for you guys, as well as other trading softwares, as well as the DC swing strategy that you guys can check out. We do also offer challenge passing services for you guys as well. So if you guys are interested in getting your challenges passed, feel free to message us about that as well. So those are some of the basics about us, guys. We have been trading for about 8 years. I am DeAndre Jones, the lead trader for FXK Trading Co. So diving on in, one thing that you will need when coming into the industry, of course, will be a broker. So a broker is pretty much a bank for the markets, right? So this is where you will be depositing your money, and you will be able to access an account where your money is now stored, and you'll be able to trade with that money that has been stored via that account. So everything will be done through your broker. You will have to download a software as well, which is called MetaTrader 4. The broker does have it here at the top right, and you can also download it on your phone app store, whether you have Android or Apple phone. So you'll be downloading MetaTrader 4, and then once you sign up with the broker, they'll give you a login information for that account, and then from there you'll be able to log in to the MetaTrader 4 via that account. And so that's pretty much your broker. It's basically an online bank for the market. So just think of Bank of America, depending on where you are. We are based in the United States. So if you think of like the big banks like Bank of America, Chase, different banks like that, a broker is pretty much them, but it's for the actual markets itself. And you do have different types of brokers. You do have some brokers which will be more so not as regulated versus some will be more regulated. So it's a personal preference on what you like personally. And you can look into more information on which broker is actually regulated and which broker is not regulated. I personally use Hugo's Way, which if you guys look down in the description, you'll be able to find a link where you can come straight to the website and sign up as well. So that is the broker that I use, which is Hugo's Way. Okay, guys, so that's pretty much, you're going to need a broker starting off in the industry. That's one of the basic things you want to find. Now, when you are looking for a broker, you want to make sure they have pretty decent spreads. So spreads is pretty much what they charge you for your trades, if you want to sum it up. So just not to go too deep into it, but pretty much what they charge you as far as to enter your trades, the fees and things like that. So the lower the spreads, typically the more profit you'll be able to make on your end. So that's a broker. Next thing you want to kind of be aware of is the two types of styles, the main trading styles, which are going to be fundamental and technical. So I'll be giving you guys a briefing on some of the websites that you can use to make yourself aware of the upcoming fundamentals for the week, as well as I'll be showing you guys some basics to charting and some things you guys want to pretty much key in on as a beginner. And if you focus on some of these things, it'll make you a really good trader in the long run. So I'll try to steer you guys in the right direction as far as on your journey of trading, and try not to, give you anything that will be, just not useful for you in the long run. So I'm gonna try to give you guys everything that's going to be truly useful, and you're going to use this more than likely for your entire trading career. So news, the different websites that you can find out news are going to be Forex Factory. You can check out My FX Book. Those are the two news websites that I use. If you head on over to Forex Factory, you'll be able to see this website here. You click on calendar, and then you will see the upcoming news for the week. Now I have mine's edited, so if you click here, I only focus on the red and orange folders, which are more so a serious impact. So I'm not really focused on the yellow folders because they don't really have much of an impact in the market. So red is going to be very heavy, orange is going to be kind of medium, yellow is going to be light. So these are the different news that you would have for the upcoming trading week. You have USD, CAD, Euro, CAD, USD, Euro, NZD, GBP, OD, CAD, Chief. So those are a few of the different pairs for the upcoming news, and pretty much all of the majors that we typically use in the actual industry of trading. So that's just to kind of give you guys a briefing on the news websites that you guys can use. And again, the other alternative that I use is myfxbook.com. And so again, I'm not trying to spend too much time on this. Again, if you guys want more education, feel free to head on over to our website and join our mentoring team. At that point, you will be able to get access to our online school. And then you also have the option to get one-on-one mentoring, where we will definitely go a lot more in depth on every single thing that I know. So again, if you wanted that information, it's on our website. And guys, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and take the time out to click the subscribe button. I'm going to try to drop a lot more content for you guys to help y'all just kind of advance in your trading career. I want to try to be as transparent as I can and truly help you guys just be profitable and consistent. So news, here's going to be some things you guys want to be aware of. So you have your broker, you now have your news sites that you can be aware of what's going on in the upcoming trading week. Now you're going to need your provider. So basically who we use to analyze and view charts. So the provider that I use is going to be TradingView, which is this website here. So once you head on over to this website, this is pretty much how it looks in general. And then to get where I am now, you would then just click products and then chart, and it would bring you over to the chart. So here is a typical chart that we have, just to kind of explain to you what we're seeing here. On the right, you have your price. On the bottom here, you have your date. And on the left, you have your tools, okay? And on the top left, you'll have your different indicators and things like that. You'll have your pair name, the time frame, and the actual provider that you're using to view that currency pair on. So to change different currency pairs, you would just click here and you can type it in this area here. So if I wanted to go to Euro USD, you would just click that, and then you would click here and it would take you over to Euro USD. So that's how you change different currency pairs. You have the time frames here as well. You can change different time frames, and that's pretty much to kind of sum up what you guys are seeing in a nutshell. So in the industry of trading, you have different ways that you can go about actually being profitable in the industry. You have your normal analyzing, which I do highly recommend that you spend more time doing. So this is where you actually learn how to trade. This is where you take the time out to truly be passionate about the industry and take it serious, and really be able to learn and reap the benefits long term on the education that you've gained over the years of becoming a trader, right? And then you have other options as far as having account management services. You have expert advisors, so EAs, robots, which can trade for you. Now the thing about robots is they're typically designed through a certain coding, right? And a lot of times the coding is not necessarily always going to be adjustable to the market, because the market conditions are always changing. So it's very hard for an EA to long-term perfect the market, because of the conditions are always changing. So you would have to have that EA constantly being updated. And most of the truly profitable EAs are very kept secret. So just be mindful of when you're coming into the EA industry. It is something you want to just kind of take from a grain of salt and just kind of in and out it, and just truly understand the EA first. And if you can put it on top of an analysis, then that's going to, of course, make you a lot more profitable with that EA, which is a trading robot. So just be mindful that you do have that option, but the more profitable in the long term is going to come from truly learning how to trade. Now, I know a lot of people don't have as much time, and they just don't have that time. So it's something that if you want it, guys, you have to invest that time. It's just that simple. If you want it, you have to put in the time. So if you don't put in the time, then you have to find someone who has put in the time, right? And at that point, they can potentially lessen the time that it would take for you to learn how to trade and become profitable in the market. And at that point, you can get an advantage. But at some point, you're still going to have to make an investment. And that investment is going to be time. So you're going to have to be dedicated, guys, at some point, whether it's dedicated to following the signal provider, dedicated to waking up in the middle of the night to make sure that you're not missing the signals that they put out, or is it dedicated to you studying, taking mentorships, and truly learning how to trade. At some point, you're going to have to put some type of time into trading, and whether it's learning or whether it's following someone, or at some point you're going to have to make that investment. So if this is what you want, then just understand that an investment will be need to make. So I've been trading for 8 years. That's pretty much the same amount of time that it takes for an average American to get a master's degree in college. So the amount of time and dedication that I put into trading, literally, it's crazy. So I love what I do, and I really don't see it as a job, or it's more so just it's fun to me. I'm almost addicted to analyzing and just coming into the market every week. It's become normal. So it's just something that you guys will have to make a decision on how you want to approach the industry, what you want from the industry, and then at that point you have to find someone who will be able to give that to you. So again, when you are looking for mentors, I do suggest that you find someone that has been trading for a few years, at least. I would say at least 4 years. At that point, you'll be able to find at least a little bit more knowledge and consistency. Again, if you guys want education, you guys can feel free to head on over to our website at FXKTrading.com, and you guys can join our mentorship. But don't just stop at our mentorship. I would definitely be able to help you guys along your journey, but I don't know every piece of the puzzle, right? No one person will know every piece of the puzzle. My education comes from different mentoringships, and what I share with my team and my students is all of that put together to get me to where I am today. So even once you take my mentorship, if you do decide to take it, guys, don't just stop there. Continue to advance in your education, continue to grow, continue to improve yourself as far as in your trading. Okay, so that's just to kind of brief you guys on just a few of the routes that generally people take in the industry of trading. So you have your signals, you have your mentoring, you have your robots, and those are pretty much the basics. Those are pretty much the basics. You do now have FTMO services for those of you that are not aware. So pretty much prop firm services. So there are services that if you are able to pass a challenge, they will give you a certain amount of funding on an account. So let's say, for an example, I'm gonna give you guys a real example. So for $50,000 trading account, you can buy a $50,000 trading account for around $300, $300 to $350. Now that's to buy the challenge. If you are able to pass the challenge, both stages, then they will give you a trading account that you can trade, and it will be equivalent to $50,000. Now there are certain rules that come with that, which are very strict and make it very hard for the average trader to be able to abide by them and pass those rules, which makes the challenge not very easy. And I know it sounds very, very like wow, but it's not as easy as it sounds. So You will need an experienced trader, so you do need to find someone that is knowledgeable in how to trade. But at that point, if you do know how to trade, then of course pass the challenge yourself. But you're able to get this funding for only, a small amount of money. So just kind of keep that in mind, that those are another option for you if you weren't aware of that already. That is kind of a new thing that has hit the industry within, I would say, the last 12 to 15 months. It's really been blowing up in the industry of trading. So that is something there. For those of you guys who don't have a lot of funding, just personally, that is an option for you to be able to get funding. So it's almost like getting, a loan in real life, but it's not anything tied to, your personal identity or anything like that. It's not a loan, but it's the option of being able to get funding. So that's that, guys. So just to kind of give you a basic look of the trading industry, where pretty much most of your tools will be. Your average traders usually hang around Facebook, Telegram, and Instagram. Those are truly where you find the majority of your traders in this industry. So now that we've went over that, guys, what you're looking at now is a chart. So this chart that we're on is USD CAD. We've already went over the different time frames. And me personally, I am a swing trader. So the styles that you have are going to be swing, you have a intraday, and you have a scalper. So these are your three main trading styles. I am a swing trader with a more so mixture of intraday. Okay. I don't really scalp much, even though it's all the same. It's just a lower time frame, and it's a switch of a mindset, perspective of understanding what time frame you're on and making that adjustment while keeping the same vision of the higher time frame. I hope I'm not losing you guys, but it gets a little intricate there. But I am a swing trader with a mixture of intraday. Okay. So me personally, I like to view the market anywhere between a 4-hour time frame and above. Even if I go to the lower time frames, my analysis and my vision of how I see the market and where I think the market will go still is going to come from the higher time frame. So if I can give you guys any advice on coming into this industry, it's going to be making sure that you're focusing on the higher time frames. Okay, higher time frame will give you a lot more consistency. It will require a little bit more patience, a little bit more discipline, but it will give you a lot more consistency. And when you're starting off in trading, a lot of traders, they don't stay around because they see a lot of inconsistency. A lot of reason is because of what they are coming into the industry based off of, because a lot of them come in thinking they're going to get rich quick, right? And so they're not in the mindset of, understanding a more higher time frame, letting a trade run for a few days or so. They want to get in and out of that trade and make, 100% growth the same day. And so they're focused on the lower time frames when they come into this trading industry. And so they're scalping. And when you don't have education, you don't have just the skill set behind you, guys, it's 100% gambling. Okay. Trading is gambling unless you have education behind your actual move on that you're placing in the market. And that comes through mentoring, through understanding the market, through time in market, TIM, through actually learning, through studying, through different things like this is when it comes to a point where you're not gambling anymore. Is when you've spent the time to truly understand the market, when you've spent hours and hours and hours studying, learning, and understanding why the market moves. Then it's not gambling anymore, right? But when you're a beginner and you're coming into this industry, guys, please, if there's any advice that I can give you, it's focus on a more higher time frame, because it's going to give you the more righter mindset as you come into the market versus a bad mindset as you come into the market. You don't want to gamble. Okay, so understand that you want to treat this like a business, and you want to come in more focused, come in relaxed, and come in patient, right? So that's how you want to come in to this industry. You will not get rich quick. I'm telling you now, you will not get rich quick. So just stop that. Yeah, you will have a good few trades, but you will not get rich quick. Literally, my first month coming into the trading industry, I think I put $50 in an account, but I can't remember what the original deposit was. It was somewhere between $50 and $100, guys. And I was following someone, and I took a trade, and it was a long-term trade. They were a swing trader, and I made like 300 bucks. So this was like literally my first month into trading, and this got me excited. So I was real hyped, and literally a few days later, I lost that whole 300 bucks. Of course, I didn't understand trading, didn't understand why I won the 300 bucks, didn't understand anything. I was just following someone, and then I started doing too much while following them. So I truly wasn't following them. I started, following their lead, and then I took the lead on my own, not knowing how to trade. So that's one thing also. If you're going to follow someone, follow them. Don't follow them and take your own lead if you don't know what you're doing. If you're going to follow them all the way through and allow them to do what they're doing. If they are experienced, you're following them for a reason. So allow them to do what they're doing and continue to be patient. The market will bounce up and down. It's best to kind of just, set your trade and walk away from it. So if you're going to follow someone, follow them, and, allow them to do what they do. And at some point after you follow them for a certain period, if you are, wanting to look for something else to follow, then do that. But understand that you can't follow someone for a week and, think that you're going to get the results. You might follow them the first bad week. No one has perfect weeks, guys. So understand when you follow someone, you have to be willing to at least commit to following them for at least about 2 months to see, how they trade, what you can gain from them. If there's any knowledge there, if the knowledge is continuing, if you're finding any progress, consistency, and things like this, right? So again, this is not a get rich quick. So understand that you're going to have to be patient. So in this industry, time frames, me personally, I prefer the 4 hour and above. When you're analyzing, there's a few things that you guys want to focus on. Some of the basic things, and again, I'm not going to be going over too much today, guys. I'm just going to be giving you guys just kind of ins and outs of the industry and some things you guys want to focus on as far as coming in as a beginner trader. So basics are going to be support and resistance, right? These are going to be lines that are placed in the market based off of previous price action reactions. That we can clearly see that there's a top and bottom in the market, basically, right? And so there's a floor or ceiling, however you want to phrase it. And so at this point, the market tends to continuously react off of these key levels. So there's different ways that you can mark support and resistance. I'm going to give you guys a few. So you have just your general viewing price action, support and resistance. So I'm going to plot that line right there, right? This line, what I have just plotted, is considered a resistance. The resistance is a ceiling, so it's going to be at the top of the market. A support is going to be at the floor. It's going to be at the bottom of the market. So this would be considered a support. See, this is the bottom, right? The bottom. This is the top, right? So this is considered a resistance. This is considered a support. Now, you will have more support and resistances as you go into price action, but again, that's going to be a little bit more intricate, and you'll continuously break it in and out. So it all matters where price is at that current moment. So right now, this is current price. The market is closed right now, but this is current price. So if this is current price, technically this would be the ceiling, right? This is a top to current price, right? That's the above current price. So it's above current price, so we can put a line there. We see it's a top, so that would be a resistance. This is below current price, right? So this would be a support. So support is below, resistance is above, right? So you'll see as you look left, you'll see if we continuously go back, you'll see how it continuously respects that support and resistance as we plot them. So this is a general way to trade support and resistance. Now, when you're looking at this, you're saying, okay, well, how can you trade this? Well, as price comes up to this resistance, typically it's like a wall, right? So when price gets to it, it's like it's going to hit it and bounce away. So what that's telling you is generally that you can maybe enter a sell at this resistance because price is going to hit it and bounce away. So at that point, you can now make money from this trade by simply selling the market here down to potentially the next support level. So now you're able to make profit around 95 pips. So let's say if you had a standard, which is a 1.00 lot on a trade, a standard for 95 pips would be $950. So if we look at the time frame, this is 4 hours. So each of these candlesticks are 4 hours. So this is like, if I zoom this out for you guys, zoom in, make this big. So you see how we have this one candlestick here? That's one 4-hour candlestick. So if you look here, this blue one that goes down, that's my bear. My bullish candlesticks that go up are white. My ones that go down are bearish, they are blue, right? So my bearish candlestick, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took 5 candlesticks to hit support. So 4 times 5, that's 4 hour times 5, basically lets you know that 25 hours, right, will give you 95 pips. With that being said, you would have been able to make $950 within 25 hours. So basically, one day, you would have been able to make $950 if you would have had a standard lot on that trade. So that's just kind of give you an idea of how you would be able to trade these support and resistances. So these are just general support and resistance here. You have other methods that you can use to mark support and resistance. And by the end of this video, I'm also going to show you guys a full charting of how you typically want to draw everything up so you guys can see just a little bit of how your average chart would look. So that's going to be one way to mark up support or resistance, just by looking at price action. You also have quarter points, and you guys can also look at this information a lot more in depth via online, or again, guys, you can join our mentoring service to find out a lot more information about these hints and things that I'm telling you guys. So, and also, guys, again, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do me a favor, guys, hit the subscribe button. It definitely helps our channel grow. I'm trying to help you guys grow, just gain as much education and knowledge as you guys can. That way, I hope to be a pioneer for you guys in this industry, to really just weed out. There's a lot of just BS in the industry, guys, and just a lot of just manipulation, and just people not really trying to truly help you guys learn how to trade, and they're more so focused on being profitable themselves than actually helping the masses be profitable. So as always, guys, it's everybody eats over here, and it's always only the family. So we literally, I want to make sure y'all get rich with me, and that's the only goal. So like, to sum it up, that's my only goal. I want as many rich traders running, behind me as possible. Like, I want us to be a complete army of just sniper, crazy, consistent, disciplined, focused, just traders overall. And the education that I try to train my team is not only education that, allows you to become more of a better trader, but this is things that we'll be using in real life as well. This discipline, the patience that we have to gain in this industry, literally crosses right over to real life situations. Understanding, in no matter what industry you're in, as far as, let's say, just business, the patience and the discipline that you can get from becoming a trader in the long run, as far as using this in everyday life, guys, will definitely be a crazy benefit to you. So not only are we, molding ourselves and training ourselves to be, better individuals, and, more sharper individuals, but we're being able to, change lives and help others, and, help our family members, and just being able to be a pillar, for others. So that's what it's about, being a pillar for others, helping as many as we can. There's plenty in this market. Understand that in order to, benefit from the market, you first have to put in time. That's TIM, time in the market. That's what I like to let my team know. So you have to put that time and that dedication. So with that being said, other methods that you can use are going to be quarter point. These are going to be whole numbers of more so psychological levels. Just to brief you guys, 3,000 is going to be one quarter point here. I'm not going to try to make all of these too perfect. I'm just going to give you guys the basics. So you have 3,000 for USD CAD, and you'll have 27.5 here. So this is going to be your next quarter point. For me, I label this the major quarter point. This is going to be a small quarter point for me. The next quarter point is going to be at 25, right? So this here is going to be my half quarter point. The next quarter point is going to be at 22.5. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more education on what I'm doing here once I finish up. And again, guys, this video is not meant to completely teach you guys how to become an advanced trader. This is just to get you guys aware of the industry, some of the basics that you guys are going to be need to be knowledgeable of in this industry, and just how to go about them. And then I'm going to try to send you guys off on your way with a little bit of education if I can. So here are going to be some of your main quarter points. If you guys zoom out, you'll see how price action pretty much is playing off of these key levels. Now, these levels also break down even more. Now, right now, we have them in increments of 250 pips. So pips is going to be percentage in price, pip in price, however you want to call it. This is pretty much how we measure our trading. So each of these are going to give you an increment of 250 pips. So as you move up, if you want to make the next quarter point, you just move up another 250 pips. So these are going to be another way that you can mark up support and resistance, guys. And another key way to mark up support and resistance, it's going to be bank levels. So I'm not going to be briefing you guys on or just going in depth on bank levels. You guys can look more in depth on that. This is something that I do teach the team, which is helping them become very, very profitable. So we focus on those psychological and bank levels, which are going to be very key in trading. So guys, just please do a lot of information on more psychological and bank levels as you are advancing in your trading career. So the next thing that I want to send you guys information about is going to be zones. So zones are going to make you a very, very consistent and profitable trader. When you mix zones with key support and resistance level, preferably psychological, okay, as well as price action and patterns, these are going to help you become very profitable and make your entries very, very sharp. Okay, so I'm going to start breaking this chart down. Okay, and as I break this down, I'm going to be showing you guys a few things. Again, guys, this is not meant to make you guys sniper traders. This is just to kind of give you guys a little bit of education in the industry. So supply and demand are pretty much key zones that we use in trading to allow you to see key points in price action to where there's a high level of liquidity built, and there's a high chance, if it is a fresh supply and demand level, that price action will head back to that area. So be mindful that if it is a fresh supply zone, your chances of price action coming into that area and reversing out of that area are going to be very highly probable. Supply is going to be on the top, demand is going to be on the bottom. So similar to support and resistance, support on the bottom, demand on the bottom, resistance on the top, supply on the top. Okay, so as we look here in price action, I'm going to show you guys a few key supply and demand zones that you guys can actually look to. Depending on when you guys see this video, this is going to be an upcoming trading idea that I will be looking at for the upcoming trading week as well. So this demand zone here, you have supply, you have demand. So the typical way that you find supply and demand is, some people use the terminology the last up move before the last down move, okay, or the last down move before the last up move, right? So here you will see that this one bullish candle is actually an up before down, and you'll see here on a higher time frame, if we break this down, the full demand would be here, but if we minimize it, it would be here on the daily time frame. I just took it from the 1 hour, but this would be the last down before the up. So again, it gets a little bit advanced. I'm not trying to go advanced right now on you guys. I'm just briefing you guys on supply and demand. So supply and demand, when you're analyzing this chart, we're about to start adding some things on here. As you guys notice, there are things called trend lines as well as the industry. I don't really use trend lines, so you really won't hear me speaking too much about them, because trend lines don't account for manipulation. So when you use trend lines, you're going to always almost get caught out within manipulation. So if you just not use them, but keep in mind that they're there, you'll dodge a lot of manipulation. And so what do I mean by that? So there's a trend line that's active here, right? But if you would have went off of the sell here on the bounce off the trend line, you would have, the average trader would have sold it here, right? And that's if you would have got a sniper entry, you would have sold it here. Your stop loss would have been a little bit above that trend line, right? And so your TP would have been the same. So the market knows this, right? The market makers know this. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring the market back up, clear you out, stop the trade, take it to their level where they want to mitigate price action, and then drop it. So using trend lines are not as probable because it's a very typical way to trade. When you're learning how to trade, you need to find someone who, and this is another reason why you have to find someone who's experienced, because a more experienced trader who has time, T-I-M, time in market, is more so advanced and knowledgeable on the ways that he needs to approach the market. And this is going to be more so of a newer style of trading, more so psychological, and just more of a psychological, mental, and a market maker's kind of a mind state, right? So kind of seeing the market as the banks do versus seeing the market as the average trader / retail trader does, right? So the retail trader is going to get their average education from Baby Pips or just the typical how to trade education methods, and what these are not really profitable these days because of this is how the banks know how to become profitable in this industry, because they have a pretty much it's a treasure map of where everybody the path that everybody's going to try to take to get to the gold, right? They know this. So now what they're going to do is put a whole bunch of traps on that road that everyone's going to take, because everyone's not seeing that the true road is to another route, right? And so the route that everyone taking is so typical, and it's printed out everywhere. It's printed out everywhere, and it's not the right way, guys. It's not. You have to change. I'm sorry. Now the basics of understanding trading, you need to understand the basics, right? But understand that there's way more than the basics, and you don't want to approach the market as a basic trader. Now, the things that I am giving you guys in this video are all things that you will still use as an advanced trader. So these are, basics of how to understand how to trade, but the information I'm giving you is key. And this is psychological, and this is the ways that the market makers actually trade in the banks. So this is going to give you an edge. So understanding that, again, I don't use trend lines like that because they are typically going to just be a trap for you to lose money, right? And the market makers and banks know this, right? So you need to trade with a more updated trading style and a more psychological and more bank involved trading style, if that makes sense, guys. So supply and demand. Supply is going to be at the top, demand is going to be at the bottom. If you guys would like to know more information about supply and demand, feel free to join our mentoring services. And with that, you guys will learn everything about supply and demand that I know. And if you guys want your supply and demand automatically plotted for you, then join the bootcamp service, and you guys will have that option to have those charted for you every single week, so that you guys have that tool to help you become a profitable trader. So that is going to be zones just briefly. I also want to go over structure for you guys within higher highs and higher lows. So you guys need to understand that within a market, you're going to have two types of structures. You're going to have the market that's going in a bullish market, which is going to be making higher highs and higher lows, right? So this high is higher than the previous high, we would say, right? So let's say if it was here, and so at that point, then it makes a higher low, and then it makes another higher high. This is a higher high because it's higher than this high here. Then it makes another higher low. This is a higher low because it's still higher, right? So as we continue to move higher, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. So that is a bullish market. If you're in a bearish market, you'll be making lower lows and lower highs, right? So lower lows and lower highs. Same thing, it's just the complete opposite. So literally lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So if you look right now, you can see in the market, we're printing the same thing. We have a high, right, at this point. So, and I'll show you the full trend switch. So just from here. So we're going from higher highs, right? Higher low, right? And then we make another higher high. So we have this higher high, we have a higher low, then we have a higher high. We start to equal out here. And you also have patterns in the market. This pattern is called a head and shoulders pattern. This is something else I teach my team. So at this point, this is a reversal pattern. This is how we know that the market is potentially ending its higher time frame trend. We now have this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Within this higher high, we then start to shift because then we make a lower high. So we stop making continuously higher highs. So this is the first indication that the market is losing momentum and we might be shifting trend. So now what you want to look for is for market to break this low and start making a lower low. So it's made a lower high, now it needs a lower low. So once it breaks this level, it would then make a lower low. So then you see the market going down and it breaks that level and it makes a lower low here, right? So at this point, we are now shifting in trend. And so we're no longer in a bullish market. We are now shifting in a bearish market, right? So now that we're in a bearish market, we're now making a lower high. Remember, this is a bearish scenario. This is a bullish scenario, right? So now that we're in a lower, in a bearish market, making lower highs and lower lows, we retrace up and make another lower high, right? And then we continue down to making lower lows. So this is my vision for USD CAD structurally, and this is what I actually see on the market going forward in the upcoming trading week. And I'll actually be looking for a small correction up and then a continuation down, or I'll be looking for another retest in this area to tap this level into supply without breaking this high. This is the key structural high. As long as price action doesn't break this level, we are still making lower lows and lower highs. So this here altogether is just one big wave, right? So as long as we don't break this high, we'll still be in structure and we can head down. So this is what I'm looking for. I hope I haven't confused you guys too much. If you're following as I went through, then you guys should be up to par. But this is how you typically identify the trend that you're in the market and when it could potentially be ending. And of course, you have other things that we also add on top, like Elliott waves, understanding patterns, understanding these shifts, counting each individual wave, knowing when the actual end would be, looking at the actual median, different things that I teach my students to understand, okay, when is it time to actually enter this trade so that we can become profitable and actually make money from the market. So this is going to be higher highs, higher lows, some things that you guys do want to make sure that you understand heavily in your trading career. It will help you along the ways of understanding and staying on the right side of the market, okay? And the last thing that I want to kind of show you guys is patterns. So every reversal in the market, we're going to mainly focus on reversal patterns. Every reversal in the market makes a pattern, right? So whether it's a double bottom, which is a reversal pattern, or it's a double top, which is a reversal pattern. You guys can Google the words Forex reversal patterns, and you can see from the images tabs, you'll see different images of the typical Forex reversal patterns. I'm going to show you a few here. So you have a double bottom, which typically is a reversal that you would see at the bottom of a trend, letting you know that the market wants to go up. A double top is pretty much looks like an M and a W, right? A double top you'll see at the top of a trend, which lets you know that the market is ready to head down. A head and shoulders pattern you will see at the top of a trend, which lets you know that the market is ready to head down. An inverted head and shoulders pattern you will see at the bottom of a trend. So an inverted head and shoulders, the same thing, is just completely opposite, right? Upside down. You will see this at the bottom of a trend. So the bottom, this is at the top, this is at the bottom. You'll see that at the bottom of a trend, and this will let you know that the market is ready to potentially head up. Of course, again, guys, don't just go off of patterns. You need a lot of different things kind of, giving you that confluence and confirmation within your area of interest, then the final thing that you'll pretty much look for is the reversal pattern. That's almost the final. If I can give you a hint, the final thing that you'll be looking for is the reversal pattern. Everything else, structure, all of these other things, price action, supply and demand, support and resistance, key levels, fundamentals, all of these things will come into play before you pretty much almost see that reversal pattern. So understand that there will be reversal patterns in the market. Usually when you see when you get to your area of interest to where you're expecting a reversal or a turnaround in the market, then you'll usually see one of these patterns print themselves. You'll also have a rising wedges. You'd have different patterns like wedge patterns. That's a little ugly. Let me kind of redo that. So it looks almost like that. And this top kind of comes in like this. So it's almost like this, yes. So that's pretty much how the web, let me make this a little bit better for y'all. So that's pretty much how a rising wedge looks. And then when you usually see this, you usually expect the market to break out towards the downside. And if you have a falling wedge, you'll have something like that. And you'll usually expect the market to break towards the upside. So again, you guys can Google Forex reversal patterns and you'll see a hint of different, Forex reversal patterns that you can use to become profitable in the market. So that's going to kind of wrap up today's, trading analysis for you guys. I wanted to just show you guys briefly just the basics of the trading industry and just to kind of mark some waves here right now. We are currently on the fourth wave of USD CAD. And you guys, if you are interested in understanding and learning Elliott waves, this is something I do teach to my students as well. Again, you can head on over to our website at FXKTradingCo.com, which is our previous branch site. You guys can also head over to FXKTrading.com to get to the same website. So our new site is FXKTrading.com. Our previous site was FXK Trading Co, but both sites should link you to the same place, and you guys can get that education from us, guys. So that's the brief, you guys, on our industry of trading in a nutshell, man. I hope this wasn't too crazy for y'all, too much. And guys, when I tell y'all this is literally the basics, this is literally the basics. So understand that if this is a lot, just be patient. Make sure that it's something that you guys want. If you do have that dedication, then, feel free to, join the team, guys, and, get the education that you need. And I definitely love to help you guys become a profitable trader. If you guys don't have the time to, get the education, then you guys do have our VIP signal service as well, which you guys can join to, get that analysis for every week, so you guys know, where you would want to potentially enter the market. And so usually when you're following our service as far as our VIP signal services, I put these informations and videos out as far as for the trades that we look at for the week ahead, usually on Sunday. So the team is kind of prepared for the week. So usually if you can take out about 15 to 20 minutes on Sunday or Monday to watch that video, it'll get you up to speed on basically how you would look to make your money for the week. So it doesn't take much time. At that point, you can set limit orders, because I am a swing trader. So you can set those orders and kind of just, wait for them to trigger and let them run. And you can just follow throughout the Telegram group for updates on those orders. If anything does change, I always shoot that information out to the team. So at that point, all you would need to do is just kind of, hang around your phone, for potential updates, like a text message, so it'll come in like a text message. If you get a text message about the pair that you're in, and if there's anything that you need to update, just update it real quick. It only takes a few minutes. So other than that, guys, that is the signal service that we do offer for you guys. So that's the only, quicker method that we do have at FXK for you guys. So I hope y'all have a great trading week. I wish you all the best success in your trading journey. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Telegram, or you guys can email me at deandreforex@gmail.com. That is the only email that I will be ever emailing you guys from. Our Telegram page, you can follow our public community at FXK Public Group. From there, you guys will see my message at name, which is FXK Trading Co. And if you put an at before that, that's how you can message me there, or you guys can message me on Instagram at FXK Trading, or you guys can hit us literally on Facebook, literally everywhere, guys. So Again, my name is DeAndre Jones. That's our email, all of our contact information. You guys have a great trading week, and we hope to see you guys on the next YouTube video.